Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatadeshatarini Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Namo Brahmana Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Te Namaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanasute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnavandi ki jai. Namacharya Das Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna everyone.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Welcome.
Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Okay. So let's pay our obeisances to Sri Sri Radha Govind. So today, yesterday, we did 3 sections in the chapter 17, Shradha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. So we'll do the other 3 part today. Okay, congratulations, Kalpana Mataji. It's fine.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. What is he doing?
He's currently in grade 12, Mataji.
Okay.
They're preparing for board exams.
Okay. So these are the 6 sections. So today we'll see section D, E, and F. Austerity in the modes, charity in the modes, and the conclusion, Om Tat Sat. So, austerity. So why is austerity needed? So Prabhupada says that for human life, this austerity is needed for human lives, because animals cannot do the austerity, right? Austerity means tapasya. So only human people can, I mean, human beings can do that. And this is for purifying our own existence. Because to make us realize what is our real position, right? As a soul, and we are, I mean, to come out of a bodily concept, and to understand Lord and the connection with Him, we need to do some austerity. Otherwise, this knowledge is not uh, is not really is not easy to realize. And also to get the unlimited happiness, right? Satchit Ananda. What is Sat and what is Chit and what is Ananda? Can someone tell me what is Satchit Ananda means?
Eternal bliss and
Yeah, eternal bliss and eternal knowledge and bliss.
bliss.
So unlimited happiness, right? Unlimited happiness and unlimited knowledge, unlimited, so eternal life. So these three things, if we want to experience, then that is possible only when a person takes up austerity. So even while doing Krishna conscious also, we need to do some kind of austerity. That's what Prabhupada says. And somebody can read now what Prabhupada says. If someone can read this.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
It is apparent that chanting of Mahamantra or the Vedic mantras must be accompanied by severe austerities. In Kali Yuga, people cannot undergo severe austerities like those mentioned herein, drinking only water and eating only air or many months, for many months. One cannot imitate such process, but at least one must undergo some austerity by giving up four unwanted principles, namely illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling. Srimad Bhagavatam 6.5.27 to 2a. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. So, so we see that, right? Like many people cannot even understand that we are not body, we are soul. At least we are aware of it, though we don't realize completely, because it is because we are bound by the three mode of nature, and it is not so easy to come out of it and to think that I'm not this body. If somebody says anything, obviously we get hurt, because I consider this identity as, because I associate myself with the body, right? It is not easy, but still, uh, to understand also that I am soul, I am not body. That is also not possible when a person is not austere, right? So some austerity, Prabhupada says that at least these four principles, which have been the four legs of Dharma, and also which is the Prabhupada has given these four principles, like to strictly follow. So these one should avoid illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling. So these are the basic austerities. Apart from this, also like getting up in Brahma Muhurta, and chanting is actually to be done in the early morning, 4:30 to, like Brahma Muhurta is 2 hours before sunrise. So 4:30, getting up, I mean, getting up at 4 and then taking bath and then starting the japa, right? That is also a austerity. And also keeping the Ekadashis, or keeping fasting on Ekadashi, and appearance and disappearance day of Acharyas. So recently we had uh, Nityananda Trayodashi, right? So that was a fasting till 12 o'clock. So these has to be done, so that to get their mercy. So because spiritual things is not something we can realize by studying Vedas or studying scriptures. So it is to be experienced when we do some austerity. That is why it is becomes very essential that we do certain austerities. देवद्विजा गुरुप्रज्ञा पूजनं शौचमार्जवम् ब्रह्मचार्यम् अहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते. The austerity of the body consists in this: worship of the Supreme Lord, the Brahmanas, the spiritual master, and superiors like father and mother. Cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence are also the austerity of body. So now we are learning about the austerity of body. So how one can do the austerities with body. So we can see here the paying dandavat to the Guru and to the Lord, right? So when entering the temple, we do, I mean, for men it is dandavat. So for women it is panchanga namaskar. So that is to be done, and that is a austerity for the body. And we know, like Ambrish Maharaj, he did austerity with all the senses, right? He engaged all his senses in worship of Lord. So we hear that he used to hear, I mean, he used to see the form of the Lord with his eyes, and with the nose he used to smell the prasad, the tulsi offered to the Lord, and uh, the prasad, right? And then with the mouth, he used to taste the prasad and also chant the holy name of the Lord. And with the ears, he used to hear the about the glories of the Lord. And with the legs, he used to walk to the temple. And also with the hands, he used to mop or to clean the temple. So in the so how he has shown that how everything can be used in the service of Lord. So that is the austerity. Austerity means, or celibacy means, like how one can keep one's body, mind, and the words. It has everything to be pure. So only by doing the austerity one get that strength, right? So it is like voluntarily accepting the pain. So that is called as austerity. So we know that it is not very easy, but still I'm doing because that will elevate. I mean, that will help me for self-realization. So this is the thing. And also this Prabhupada mentions here that the brahmanas, the spiritual masters and superiors like father and mother, right? And because spiritual master is considered as equal to Lord, because even in the prayer, morning prayer, we sing, no, Sakshat Dharitrena Samasta Shastre. So the Lord is, he has to be, because he's a confident servitor of the Lord, he is equally to be considered, spiritual master is considered to be equal to the Lord, though he does not claim himself as Lord, but then the disciples have to treat him because Krishna has sent him. Krishna has sent him to deliver the conditional souls like us. So, and also the superiors like father and mother. So cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, so and non-violence. These are all also the austerities of body. So cleanliness, we know that there are two types of cleanliness. Can anyone tell me what are the two types of cleanliness?
Internal and external.
Yeah, what is internal and what is external?
Internal is by chanting Hare Krishna mantra,
Yes,
keeping our heart pure, and external is taking bath every day and changing the clothes,
yes.
wash clothes.
Yeah. So keeping our body clean, right? Having, for men, Prabhupada has, in the temple, we see that they are very, once in America, in an interview, when the journalist asked, why you people keep your head shaved, right? Prabhupada said that to keep ourselves clean. So that is the main thing they were Prabhupada has given to the brahmacharis. And also it is because once there was like smart brahmacharis, and Prabhupada said that if you are like this, then he will soon maybe get attracted to sense gratification, or he may like some girl or like that. So Prabhupada said, you better keep your, this he told actually to Jaipataka Swamiji, because in his young age he was really good looking, and he said you have to become uh, you have to take your this hairs, right? So so it has to be shaved. So this is basically for cleanliness. And simplicity means no duplicity in our behavior or in talks with other people. And non-violence also, we know, like there are three types of violence. One is on physical level, one is on the mental level, the other one is on the spiritual level. So physical level means, we know, like hurting someone with any weapons or with the hands, beating someone, and these things are in physical level. Mental level means hurt, hurting or causing pain or distress to other living entity. That is on a mental level. And on a spiritual level means like when we forget that I'm not this body and I'm this soul, and not doing anything for my self realization. That is on spiritual level. So doing for myself, and also when we are not doing for others, not uplifting, like when we know about this Krishna consciousness and we are not trying to uh, give this knowledge to anyone, that is also called as violence. So we shouldn't do this. So the non-violence need to be practiced. So these are all austerities of the body. And paying dandavat, like Raghunath Goswami, right? One of our acharyas, the 6 acharyas in our sampradaya, how he used to do every day, he used to, chant 64 round japa, and then 1,000 obeisances he used to pay to the Lord, right? And 2,000 obeisances, dandavat, he used to pay to Vaishnavas. So actually he used to do in the mental, it is physical, it is not possible, right? 2,000 to the Vaishnavas. So in mentally he used to offer them the dandavats. And only like even in the later days, he used to only live with just a 1 cup of buttermilk. So this is not for us. Like the Prabhupada says that only we can take a learnings from the life they have lived, because even Prabhupada used to sleep only for 2 hours, but it is not possible for us, no? So Prabhupada says you can sleep for 6 hours. 6 hours is very much sufficient uh, for an adult. So for children it may be they need some more sleep, but for an adult, so 6 hours is more than enough, Prabhupada says, so that we get a lot of time for doing the other activities like reading, right? Reading scriptures, doing japa and these things, no? So austerities, and so someone can read this.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Austerities and penances of the body. Offering of respect to God, demigods, perfect qualified brahmanas, spiritual master and superiors like father, mother, any person conversant with Vedic knowledge. External and internal cleansing of the body. Simplicity in behavior. Abstaining from doing anything not sanctioned by the spiritual injunctions. Abstinence of sex outside marriage. Observance of celibacy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam cha yat swadhyayayabhyasam shaiva vanmayam tapa uchyate. Austerity of speech consists in speaking truthfully and beneficially, and in avoiding speech that offends. One should also recite the Vedas regularly. So now we are seeing the austerity of speech. So when we speak to somebody, so here Krishna says that the 3 things he's saying, what it should be, like one has to speak the truth, and the speech that we deliver, that has to be beneficial, that has to give them some benefit to the person who is hearing from us. So that is the second one. And the other one is that avoid speech that offends, or so one should not unnecessarily make other person feel bad or offending through our words, no? Because anything, we can create different kind of emotions just by our words, no? If our words are not pleasant to hear, or one may with the harsh words we can hurt others, or all the happiness, distress, everything which is caused because of the different emotions we see in the persons, just because how the other person, the opposite person interact with them, and right. So this is one has to take care. So, and we can see that Yudhishthira Maharaj, right? Yudhishthira Maharaj, we see a picture. So before, this is what he had left. This is after he had given up everything. After Krishna leaves the material world, and when he closes his Leela in the material world, and he also leaves the. He was completely detached. He leaves his wife, brother, and everyone, and he takes the sannyasa life. But before that, when he was made the king of Hastinapur, he was crowned, right? After the Mahabharat war, when he was crowned, and before, like, he was not ready to accept because he was so humble, and he said that though the Dhritarashtra, he had cheated them, the Pandavas. I mean, who was the he which the kingdom which he had to give them very long back, but he was not ready to give, though it was legally it was supposed to be given to the Pandavas. But then when they lost all war, still he considered him as his uncle, and he went him and he told him that if he can take up, because when Lord Krishna tells him, or he will not, he is not ready to take it up. And then he goes and ask Dhritarashtra also, like, if he allows him to take as a position of king. And Lord Bhishma had to order him to take, and only then he took it. So it is like so much of humbleness he had. And also, like, we see that the same, one more thing is Vidura. So when Vidura was away, I mean, during the Mahabharata war, he was not there. So when he comes, when he comes back, I mean, after his yatra, actually, when Krishna had closed his pastime, when he is back, so everybody asked, like, they had a, like, Arjuna was sent, and he was not returned for a long time. So the Yudhishthira wanted to know, so what happened? Everything is fine in Dwaraka. He asked about everything. But then Vidura does not say that he knew that Krishna is not there, but then he does not say that because he it is he feels that anyway, I mean, it is said that anything unpleasant, anyways, people will come to know, right? He didn't wanted to be a messenger of such unpleasant thing, because people were already in distress, because many of the family members, their kin, everyone were died after the war, right? So he didn't wanted to tell that. So we have to see the time and uh, uh, so the situation before conveying some truth. Maybe it may be truth, but then we have to see the situation also. Is it palatable by the other person? Is he able to take it, what I am telling? So we have to see that before speaking. That is what this shloka says. So here we can see, like, how with the pleasing words. So Prahlad Maharaj, like, he attracted with his pleasing words, he was able to attract the children of demons to Krishna consciousness. So how with a pleasing word one can attract? And this is Srila Prabhupada, right? So Prabhupada says here that the spiritual master has the right to chastise. Chastise means he can scold the devotees when they are doing wrong. It's not like he cannot be always nice to the disciples. He has that right, because otherwise, because he does for their highest benefit. So that can be done by spiritual master. And also we see that even the parents do that, right, for children. So when they're not listening, or when they're not studying, you'll have to sometimes have to scold them. So that is allowed. And we see, like, how he used to also, Prabhupada, during his morning walk, can see everybody are so happy in the association of Prabhupada. So, and everything, whatever he speak, he used to always associate with Krishna, nothing apart from Krishna, right? Okay, Naman can read.
Austerity of speech. One's speech should not agitate others' minds.
Mm.
A teacher can be stern with the student but not speak anything agitating the minds of others. One should not talk nonsense. Whatever said from a scripture must be authenticated by quotes from the scriptures. Talk should be very pleasurable, elevating, and beneficial.
Yeah, so these are the austerity of speech. So one should not talk nonsense, in the sense prajalpa, right? Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagrahah janasangascha laulyam cha shadbir bhakti vinashyati. So these are six things. This is one of the six things which will destroy my devotional service. So that is the prajalpa, or so unnecessary things which is of no use. So that is why one need to avoid that. And whatever said from a scripture must be authenticated by quotes. This is why we expect everyone, like Prabhupada also has said, and we need to learn the basic shlokas, and Prabhupada has given the 108 shlokas. So because when you go and preach about Krishna conscious to people, when you tell, that will not, when our words will not have uh, it will not change people's mind, or without any quote reference, people will not accept. So they may not accept my words, but then when we quote from scripture, then it becomes authenticated. So we need to know at least a few shlokas. Try to memorize the important shlokas in every chapter, right? So that you can, the preaching will be more successful. So, and these are the three things. One's talk should be pleasurable, elevating, and beneficial. So now austerity of the mind. Mana prasada saumyatvam maunamatma vinigraha bhava samshuddhirityetat tapo mana samuchyate. And serenity, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purity of thought are the austerity of the mind. So how can we make our mind austere? So it is uh, not engaging the mind in sense gratification, and engaging in the, because we have to engage our senses in something. It cannot be like, we cannot be without engaging it, because in earlier days it was possible in Satyuga, like why people used to go to forest and they used to meditate on Lord, and without not engaging senses. We see in the chapter 6, right, how the sage used to realize the Paramatma feature. But that is not possible for Kali Yuga. So we have to be in this world and then control the mind. So it's not easy. So then how is it possible? So when we can engage in in the mind in the service of Lord, then the purity of thought will come, right? So it is actually, we need to be introspective uh, quite often. How many of we do this? How many of you sit and think that whatever happened, like or whatever you are doing, am I doing this right or not? Am I engaging in right work, or am I anyone doing introspection? How many of us do? Or do you anywhere stop and think sometime, at least introspect, like what is my shortcoming, or where am I uh, what am I right engaging or wasting time? Am I wasting my time, or engaging in the things which are not necessary? Is it helpful for me to in Krishna consciousness? Are we seeing? Yes,
Sometimes.
sometimes. Yes, this quite often we need to do. Yes, Kalpana Mataji. Oh, I think she's on. Okay. Yes, Mataji, you want to say add something? Okay. So yeah. So basically, we need to see that often we need to check ourselves. Are we progressing in a right direction? Right. So once in a while, we need to check that. So what kind of thoughts am I breeding? Or because our mind, Krishna says in chapter 6, no, one's mind can be one's own friend and also an enemy. So when actually the mind is a product of mode of goodness. So we have to engage. It is not a mistake of mind. We may, like when we are chanting, we may get so many, distractions. Why does it come? Because I'm engaging my mind in those things. That is why those things are coming to mind. And if we are always keeping our mind, giving the mind a food that is in mode of goodness, and then how can a mind give me something else? No, we cannot blame the mind. It is me, because of my desire. Whatever I'm engaging, the mind is actually reflecting that, and it is giving in the form of thoughts. So to purify that, we do this. chanting, right? By chanting also, one can purify the mind and heart. And it can uplift us from the mode of passion and ignorance to mode of goodness. Okay. Who wants to read?
Austerities
Hare
of
Krishna.
mind. Detach it from sense gratification, always thinking of doing good for others, gravity in thought, always situate in Krishna consciousness, divert the mind to Vedic literatures full of stories of the Puranas and the Mahabharata. Rid the mind of duplicity, always think about the welfare of all. In silence, always contemplate on self-realization. Purify existence through straightforwardness in dealings. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So detach from sense gratification. So detaching and attaching to Krishna. So that does not mean, this only Prabhupada says here, sense gratification does not mean that I have to leave all my work that I am doing, because we have to work, right, for our livelihood. So it is not like that, but you can work, but then how Padma, like a lotus leaf, which is untouched by water, be like a Padma Patram Ivambasa. So we have example like how Bhishma was in the kingdom. I mean, in the assembly of Kauravas, right? He was working for the Kauravas, but then his love for Krishna was always there. His mind was always in Krishna. He was not distracted. And also the Akrura was working for Kamsa, right? But then he goes to Mathura, Vrindavan, to bring them to Mathura, the Lord Balram and Lord Krishna. So he was always meditating upon Krishna, and he was not he was not his activities was not sinful, though he worked for Kamsa, because he engaged in the work, but his mind was always in Krishna. So in that way, one need to work in this material world. And Prabhupada says here, read the mind of duplicity, because many a times it may happen like, we if, from outside we speak very nicely to others, but then from inside we may have not so good feelings towards them, right? We may be having so many things, or jealousy or hatred towards the other person, but then when the person comes in front of us, we will not show that. So that is again duplicity. So Prabhupada says we should not be like, don't have such kind of thoughts in mind. Just we need to ignore, right? Trunadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna. So always be humble and uh, be tolerant as a tree. So then what happens? Only in that state of mind, the purification happens, and we are able to chant the name of the Lord. So always think about the welfare of everyone. So just we can think that the other person, why is he doing like that? Because of the condition, the different association he had been there in from different lifetime, in the mode of passion and ignorance. So that is the why even we are like that. So because of that, the person can act like that, and we also. It's not it like a. It's not that the person is completely bad, but because of association, it happens. So we should not brood such hatredness towards anyone. So always thinking welfare of all. And in silence, always contemplate on self-realization. Purify existence through straightforwardness in dealing. So these are the austerities of mind. So here we see a summary of it, right? Worship of, what is austerity of body? Worship of Supreme Lord, Brahmana, spiritual master, and superiors like father and mother. Cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence. So austerity of speech, speaking truthful words, which should be pleasing to hear, and it should be beneficial to others and not agitating to others. So also regularly reciting Vedic scriptures. And austerity of mind, gravity in thought, satisfaction, simplicity, self-control, purification of one's existence. Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapasttrividham naraihi aphalakankshibhiryuktaihi satvikam parichakshate. This threefold austerity practiced by men whose aim is not to benefit themselves materially but to please the Supreme is of nature of goodness. So we can see here the devotees who are taking the yatra, right? So this is parikrama, Vrindavan parikrama, Govardhan parikrama, and Mayapur parikrama. So these are all done to please the Lord. So because they are not doing this for any material benefit, but for the spiritual benefit. So this is said to be the austerity in nature of goodness. Satkara pujartham tapodambena chaivayat kriyate tad iha proktam rajasam chalam adruvam. Those ostentatious penances and austerities which are performed in order to gain respect, honor and reverence are said to be in mode of passion. They are neither stable nor permanent. So when a person is doing any penances, right, like how the Hiranyakashipu, like he was doing, so he was actually doing for some benefit. And when a person does this austerity to show, right, mana puja pratishtha for his own, so those things are considered to be in mode of passion. So where he can get some respect, honor, reverence, and these things. So these are to be said in mode of passion. And in mode of ignorance, the penance in mode of ignorance, Mudha grahena atmanahayat pidaya kriyate tapaha parasyotsadhanartham va tattamasam udharatam. And those penances and austerities which are performed foolishly by means of obstinate self-torture or to destroy or injure others are said to be in mode of ignorance. So this is in Hiranyakashipu, right? Because of severe austerity for ages he did, thousands of years. And why did he do? He wanted to kill the demigods. So that was not a good cause of his austerity. What is the point? Like doing all austerity to destroy others or injure others. So such kind of austerity is in mode of ignorance. Yes, someone else who has not read can read.
Yes, Mataji. Penances and austerities executed to attract people or receive honor or respect and worship from others are in the mode of passion. Such persons arrange to be worshipped by subordinates, letting them wash their feet and receive riches. Hiranyakasipu performed austere penances to become immortal and kill the demigods. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we see, right, there are people who take worship. That is why yesterday we saw like Krishna was comparing such people to be demons, because if they are considering themselves as God and they want the subordinates to worship them, so such people are considered to be demons. But then this does not include the spiritual masters, because we do wash the feet of spiritual master. But then it is not for he is not expecting any riches or anything. He has actually come to deliver us, right? So so this is said to be in mode of passion. So now charity in three modes. दातव्यम् इति यद्दानं दीयते अनुपकारिणे देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम्. That gift which is given out of duty at the proper time and place to a worthy person and without expectation of return is considered to be charity in mode of goodness. So when we are doing charity, it is not like we have to, it has to be known to everyone, or like it is not expecting anything in return, or it is to be done as a matter of duty, right? So giving a donation to the temple is also a matter of duty, because from there many people are getting benefited, no? From like because what is temple doing? They take the donation. Why? Because to propagate the Krishna consciousness, and especially not the any temple, but then where the knowledge has been shared, the transcendental knowledge which is given by Lord has been shared to the people, right? So that is the highest. Why? Because whatever we give the charity, that will not last for a long time, any other charity. But then highest is Krishna consciousness, because you may give to food or the clothes and these things to people that will not last for many months or maybe a year, or food is only for a day, right? But then Krishna consciousness is the highest charity, because it is just like when a child is lost in a street and it's crying continuously. What the person will do? Somebody may give some toys to play, or somebody can give them something to eat, or somebody can help like that. But then if somebody is taking him back to the parents, that is the highest, no? So similarly, if we are uh, like giving a charity, or I mean, you are giving this Krishna consciousness to somebody, or you are gifting a Bhagavad Gita to someone, it can change their life, right? Their Prabhupada says that anybody who read even any page of his book, is any of the book, can the person's life can change. And there are many examples like that, many devotees, even one person who was in jail also, where he got this Back to Godhead magazine, he read that, and he changed, and then he became a devotee, and then he became a preacher. So many things can happen. So the charity has to be in mode of goodness. So we have to see to whom we give. It's not like anybody I can give. So it has to be out of duty, proper time and place, and to a worthy person. So, is who anyone else?
About
Yes,
charity,
Mataji.
Yeah, Asha Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Asha.
About charity
Yeah. Yeah.
should be given to spiritual activities. No spiritual advancement, when done indiscriminately, may be done to the poor only on grounds of compassion. Done on pilgrimage, eclipses, end of the month, oblique to a qualified Brahman, Vaishnava, oblique in temples are very auspicious, and should be given without any expectations, even aspirations for heavenly planets. Should never be followed by regrets, and should always be done in the mode of goodness only. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So, Prabhupada says here that we can do for poor only on based of grounds of compassion. And also when the charity is done, becomes very auspicious even on these whatever is mentioned here, pilgrimage, eclipse, and end of the month, and also on the Ekadashi day. It is said it is the whatever we get, the benefits that will be multiplied when it is done on a Ekadashi. So many people do the charity or donation on Ekadashi days, and without expectation, and no, should never be followed by regrets. Means like this is actually in mode of passion. What happens? The person gives uh, to somebody, and then he, because of some pressure, maybe of senior or some pressure, he gives, and then later he repents that, oh, I should have maybe not given so much, right? So that becomes that should not be done. Once given is given, we should not regret, oh, I should not have given that, right, after giving. So that is in mode of passion. So that is why charity has to be in mode of goodness. It is without any expectation. Charity in goodness. So as a duty. Yeah. Yettu prayupakaartham phalam uddishya va punaha diyate cha pratikshtam tadhanam rajasam smritam. But charity performed with the expectation of some return or with a desire for fruitive results, or in a grudging mode, is said to be in charity mode of passion. So we just read. So the grudging mode, right? So grudging mode is like regretting, um, after giving somebody and regretting that I should have not done, right? So that is a grudging mode, and expectation of some return. So we see here the person posing himself because he want to post that in social media. Whatever he is doing, he wants his whatever he is doing to be known by all. So basically, he is only doing because for some fame. It is not real out of concern for them. It is because of some fame or some desire. So this is said to be in mode of passion. So now charity in mode of ignorance. Adesh Adeshakale Adeshakale yaddanam apatrebhyascha diyate asakritam avagnatam tattamasam udarutam. And charity performed at an improper place and time and given to unworthy person without respect and with contempt is charity in the mode of ignorance. So this is exactly opposite of what it was in mode of. So that was proper place, proper time, and to worthy person. Here it is improper place, improper time. So that is why we cannot give to anyone who is asking, because we don't know what they are going to do with that money. They may come to us asking they are in a problem, or but we don't know. I have also seen once, like me and my son, we were going. I mean, it was we had to take a bus in the night, and we saw some beggar coming, and we gave. And then we went to a hotel, and we had some. We had. I mean, this was very long back, many years back. So we had some dinner, and we were coming out, and the other person, he was actually used for drinking. Okay, he was actually here drunk, and he was. Uh, he was like by his walk we could make out, and then I was able. I mean, this I can relate now when I read here. That is why, because we don't know what the person is really going to do. Maybe we think that is for good benefit, and maybe they'll buy some food. It is better to give them a food instead of giving money. You better buy something and give it in that case. So that is better. So otherwise, because whatever they do, then we will get that papa, no? If they're not using for right purpose. And also Prabhupada says here that it should not be uh, without respect. So even if somebody is doing everything, like he may be giving to a brahmana and a right person, but when there is no respect, he's just doing it, then that is also not in a mode of ignorance. So this is a section F, the conclusion. Om Tat Sat. From the beginning of creation, the three syllables Om Tat Sat have been used to indicate the supreme absolute truth, Brahman. They were uttered by Brahmanas while chanting Vedic hymns and during sacrifices for the satisfaction of Supreme. So what it is said here, so we discussed about various sacrifices, austerity of body, mind, word, right? And sacrifices in the three modes, and the penances in three modes, and the charity in three modes. So we discussed all that. So when we are doing all this, so one has to chant Om Tat Sat, right? So that is like everything has to be done to please Lord. So for satisfaction of the Lord. So that is why we say Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat. And when we give to someone, we say, right, Krishna Arpanamastu, they say. That means, so then that we will not be having any binding, even for the pious act if you do, or to someone, if you use this Om Tat Sat, then that will not have any consequences. So this sloka explains that. Is there a way that I don't get any karmic action, even for pious reaction? Pious reaction in the sense you are helping someone, because what will happen in the pious deed? Can someone tell me what will happen if you do some pious deed? You are so
We'll
much
have
punya you are
to
accumulating.
take birth in higher planets again. We'll have
Yeah.
to go.
So again, there is a birth, no? Birth and death, you cannot come out of it. So how to avoid even that, even when you're performing pious act, because we are forced to do sometime. We cannot be like, because being humans, we cannot be very indifferent to the problem of other living entity, or we have to help. So what do we do in that case, right? So here Krishna says, is there a way to come out of this old age, birth, death, and disease? Then what we should do? Om tat sat iti nirdesho brahmanasti viridha त्रिविधा स्मृताः brahmanastena vedascha yagnascha vihita pura. From the beginning of creation, the three syllables Om Tat Sat have been used to indicate the supreme absolute truth, Brahman. They were uttered by Brahmanas while chanting Vedic hymns and during sacrifices for the satisfaction of Supreme. Okay, anyone can read?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Uh,
All penances, sacrifices, charities,
yeah, please go ahead.
and foods are divided into three types based on the modes. Hence, all of these are conditioned and contaminated. Only when aimed at the Supreme, Om Tat Sat, they elevate one spiritually. All charities, sacrifices, and penances should be done uttering Om Tat Sat. Qualifies the performances to be in the mode of goodness, spiritualizing them. This is Krishna consciousness, enabling one to return home back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
So Hare Krishna. So basically, this is what Prabhupada has given, right? Krishna consciousness means connecting everything to Lord. Whatever activity we do, dovetailing it to Krishna consciousness, because everything are contaminated and conditioned by three modes of material nature. Hence, whatever activity we do, if Krishna is connected, then it becomes, even that is why, even the karma yoga, jnana yoga, whatever, when does that become yoga? When we connect Krishna there. Otherwise, it will be only karma kanda. It is not yoga there when Krishna is not connected. So anything we connect, that is why even Srila Rupa Goswami says that whatever work you do, even the material things, when it is used for service of Lord, it becomes spiritualized. So how to spiritualize anything? So when Krishna is connected, it becomes spiritualized. Thus, the transcendentalist undertakes sacrifice, charity, and penance, beginning always with Om to attain the Supreme. Om iti etad brahmano nideshtam. Nama indicates the first goal. Om means Vishnu. It is placed at the beginning of Vedic hymns to indicate the supreme goal. You see, right? Many of the mantras which starts with Om, any of the, even the other demigod or the devatas, the mantras which starts with the Om, so which actually represents the Vishnu or Krishna, right? The Supreme Lord. So Om means sacrifice, charity, and penance in accordance with scriptural regulations begins always with Om to attain the Supreme. So whenever we do any of the charity or sacrifice, before the starting the activity, Om has to be said, right? Om has to be pronounced. Om, a person has to say Om and then do before starting. And that is like during the process, by doing the activity, it is Tat said, and the Sat is said at the last. That shows the goal. So Tat means without desiring fruitive result, one should perform various kinds of sacrifice, penance, and charity with the word Tat. The purpose of such transcendental activities is to get free from material entanglement. Sat means the absolute truth is objective of devotional service, and it is indicated by the word Sat. The performer of such sacrifice is also called Sat, as are all works of sacrifice, penance, and charity, which, true to the absolute nature, are performed to please a supreme person or son of Pritha. So this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Factually, the transcendental sound Omkara, although a combination of three letters, A, U, and Y, has transcendental potency, and who chants Omkara will very soon realize Omkara and Lord Vishnu to be non-different. So, Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti, no? the Lord is different than, is not different to the name. Like you say, you take Krishna name, right, and the Lord himself. So it is same. So it is like Krishna is dancing on your tongue when you take Lord's name, not different. But in material things, it is not like that. Like you take the name, right? When you take water, but then the object is different and the name is different. Water, when you say water, you will not get water. Or when you say mango, it's not that you had like mango, right? The object is different and the name is different. But with Lord, there is no difference. So when we say Omkara, when we take Om, so it is like you're taking a name of the Lord, because Krishna says, no, Om represents me in chapter 7. So here it explains that Ye indicates Krishna, right? Yekar Yekarenocyate Krishna, the letter, okay, Yekarenocyate Krishna, Sarvalokaikanaayakah, Ukarenocyate Radha, Makaro Jivavachakah. So each word is being explained, like Yekara, this is from the Adi Leela Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 7, verse 128, which says that Ekara Uchyate Krishna, the letter Ye, Akara. Akara refers to Krishna, who is Sarva Lokaika Nayakaha, the master of all living entities and planets, material and spiritual. The letter U, Ukara, indicates Srimati Radharani, the pleasure potency of Krishna. And M, Makara, indicates the living entities, Jivas, V. So these three words, so this is what has been given explanation as Akara is Krishna, Ukara is Srimati Radharani, and Makara is living entities, V, Jivas. So, but sacrifices, austerities, and charities performed without faith in the Supreme are non-permanent. O son of Pruta, regardless of whatever rites are performed, they are called asat and are useless both in this life and next. So when a person does not have a faith in scriptures or in Krishna, right? So such austerity does not have any value. So that is called as asat, means not true. And it is for you. Krishna says it is useless in this life and even in next life. So this life also is useless, and whatever life we take next, there also it will not help us, such austerities. Okay, who wants to read can read.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mata.
Yeah,
Hare Krishna
Bhagyalakshmi
Mataji.
Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Sacrifice, charity, and penance done without transcendence in focus in useless, abominable. Everything should be done for the Supreme in Krishna consciousness under proper guidance. Vedic scriptures proclaim faith in the Supreme is most important. The goal of all Vedic instruction is the understanding of Krishna. Austerity done in goodness are better than those done in mode of passion and ignorance. Be best at the performance in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So basically, this chapter was all about faith, right? How the divisions of faith in three modes. So when we don't have faith in Supreme nor in the scriptures, then that it is all asat. Krishna says that if somebody is performing anything without having faith in the Lord, and then that is of no use. Maybe they may think they're doing, or they may get some fame or name by doing such things, but that is of no use. So faith is most important. And also Krishna says in chapter 4, Agnascha Shraddha Dhanascha Samshayatma Vinashyati Nayam Lokosya Naparaha Nasukam Samshayatmanaha. So Agnasta Shraddha Dhanascha, who is ignorant, and Ashraddha Dana, so who is not faith, who does not have faith in Krishna. So he is not, I mean, Nayam Lokosya Naparaha, not even in this world, not in the next life. So he has any Nayam Lokosya Naparaha, Nasukam Samshayatmana. He will never be able to achieve happiness, right? Everyone wants to be happy, but then if we don't follow in the right direction, then whole life, it's not only in this life, even in next life, Krishna says one can never be happy. So yes, Rameshwar Nayak Prabhu, can read.
Yeah, they are transcendental to the three modes. Conditioned people worship demigods, ghosts, or akshas like Kuvera elevating gradually. The important message of this chapter: faith in the Supreme can be developed under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. Matured faith transforms into love. Such love is the ultimate goal of the living entities. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So, in a conditioned stage, people will worship different demigods, ghosts, or yakshas, because those are all temporary benefits. And we are only, like, people are concerned only with that life, and they're not thinking beyond that. So, then only people go to these different, right? The demigod. Because even for demigods, Krishna says in 8th chapter, no? Abrahma bhuvanalo kaha punaravartino juna mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. Brahma Bhuvana Loka, even if you go to Brahma's planet, you have to take birth again. I mean, we may stay for some time and we have to come back. Highest is in the material world of the 14 planets, highest is the Brahma's world. No, but then even from there we have to come back. So that is not really a good thing, right? If you are doing all austerity and going to Brahma planet and again coming back, and again we have to suffer in this material world. So it is not recommended in Shastras. Krishna says, Mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. But if you worship me, oh Arjuna, there is no life again. Life again means we will not take a material life, but we'll take a spiritual body and we go back to Godhead. But how one can develop such faith in Supreme, that is possible only when we have a taken shelter under a bona fide spiritual master. Otherwise, it is not possible. So someday, everyone of us need to take shelter. Shelter in the sense, the diksha, right? Taking the initiation. This is also very much needed. Maybe if we are not ready now, but at least after some years, that should be our aim, because only then the real benefit is, it is said, like, we get that real benefit of whatever we are chanting, doing austerity, this only when we come under the right sampradaya. Currently we are doing it just like that, but then we are not connected to the sampradaya. How do we get connected? Only after taking initiation. So only then the real, I mean, all our sins will get nullified only when you take into the that diksha, because there the yagnas are done, right? In the fire. So it is said that time all the it is said like a second birth. The taking a initiation is just like a second birth for the person. So we have been doing so many sins in from millions of life after life, but then so everything will be taken away, and then from that day we get a new life. So our spiritual master will be our eternal father, like, I mean, Krishna is a eternal father, and he is a our spiritual master who shows us the path, right? So that is very important. And but for that there are some rules and regulations. That is why we have to do properly our sadhana and everything, so that one day we become eligible to take this initiation. At least now we need to practice whatever Prabhupada has given, doing the 16 round of chanting, right? And taking the Krishna Prasad as far as possible, try to avoid, and having outside, and also following the 4 regulative principles, which is most important. Um, so these things when we do, and then what happens? The faith becomes more strong, and mature faith transforms into love. We know the 9 stages of bhakti, which starts with Shradha. Shradha is a initial faith, or the Komala Shradha, Prabhupada calls it. But then how? What are the different stage? Anyone can tell me? After Shradha, what is the next stage? Kalpana Mataji, see if your audio is working. Yeah, we couldn't hear you. You were saying something. No, we can't hear you, Mataji. You are
Shraddha,
unmuted.
it
Yeah.
is Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha,
Yes.
Bhajana Kriya,
Hmm.
Anartha Nivritti,
Yes.
Nishtha,
Hmm.
Ruchi,
Hmm.
Asakti, Bhava, Prema.
Yes. So when when matured faith means when we are getting, I mean, our faith is transformed to love for God. So that is the highest. So such love is the ultimate goal of living entities. And with this, we come to an end of this chapter. So these are the sections. One's modes determine one's activities, faith and worship in modes, food in the modes, with the three kind of how the even the food is divided into three modes. So based on the mode a person is in, his liking for the food, right? So best is the sattvic food. Sattvic food also, which is offered to Krishna. And sacrifice in the modes, austerity in the modes, charity in modes, and the conclusion, Om Tat Sat. Okay. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः कोटि वैष्णववृन्द की जय नामाचार्य दास ठाकुर की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय Hare Krishna. And I hope everyone are chanting at least 4 rounds, because we just have one chapter left, chapter 18, and then you will go to level 3. So to qualify to level 3, it's compulsory that one should chant 4 rounds. I hope all of you are chanting. You just raise your hand if you're chanting 4 rounds, all of you. And just raise your digital hand so that I know how many of you are chanting at least 4 rounds. I mean, it could be more than that also, at least 4. All of you are chanting. Okay. Okay. Okay, very good. So I think almost everyone, right? So Bhagyalakshmi Mataji, Manohar Prabhu, and okay, Mataji, okay. Fine, Bhagyalakshmi Mataji, yes, you are also chanting.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, very good.
I am chanting 8 rounds.
8 rounds,
8.
okay, okay. Okay, good, Mataji. Okay. So because that is the thing for going to level 3, I think by next week we will complete chapter 18, and then you all will be going to next level, level 3. And there in level 3, you will also have to do presentations and all. It will be interesting. And please do take or complete the quiz by then. So now only if you have any backlog of old quiz, you can complete it. And yes, so everything, all the details will be shared in the group for joining for next level. Okay. So complete your quiz, and then I think, I'm not sure if you will get certificate. I need to check on that I think you will get, yes, for level 2 certificate, so that you can go to next level. Okay, any questions? Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I have a small confusion, inquiry.
Hmm.
If you can kindly go back to slide, no, where verse number 23 is there, Tat Sat Iti is there, where, if it is
One
possible.
second. Yeah. 23, right?
Yes, Mataji, yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Is the one?
Mataji, on the top of it, no, there is a statement. Is there a way that I don't get any? Is there a way that I don't get any karmic action, even for pious reactions? This, no, Mataji, is somewhat confusing to me, because reactions come as a result of karmic actions, and here it is something, no, quite contrary.
Yeah.
Inquiry.
Yeah. So see, what is karmic action means? For any good action, bad action, there is a opposite reaction. No, whatever we do, there is a opposite reaction. We know this, right? So if you do good karma, you get good. I mean, pious credits are collected, and then we'll be for that. What benefit you will get? You may get in a higher birth. I mean, you may get in a higher planet, right? You can go to a higher planet, or in a higher birth, like that we can get. And then if in the or born in a rich family, like, so if impious activities, then they will take birth in a lower species. So these are the reaction, whatever we do. This is called as fruitive activities. But here it is said that even when a person does a pious reaction, pious means helping somebody, or manava seva, right? You say like Madhav Seva, Manav Seva, people say, like if you do help people, it is like helping God and all that. But actually, the Bhagavad Gita does not appreciate that, where we saw King Dhritarashtra's story. No, he did so much of pious activities, and just with one mistake, he had to be born as a lizard. No, you remember that?
You
King
remember?
Dhritarashtra?
I remember.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
But
So what I was saying is, so because it was done as a karma kanda activity, but then when he's connecting to Lord, so when you do any activity, while doing, we do this Om Tat Sat is used, right? Then it becomes the reaction is nullified. That is what this is saying. So then you will not get any reaction even for what is done as a pious activity. Am I clear?
it seems clear, Mata. But my inquiry should be like this: I should not get any karmic reactions for pious actions.
Did.
Uh,
Yeah.
it should
Yeah,
be like
yeah.
this. No? Once he say, I don't get any karmic action.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I think yes, you are right. So words are bit interchange here. You get
Yes.
any karmic reaction even for prior's action. Yes, you are right.
Here's some.
Correct.
Let's say.
Yeah, I think I will correct it. You are right. It is like karmic reaction for even for pious action. Right, Prabhu?
Like this. Yes, Mata. This one. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
So Mataji, so whenever we are doing some charity, should we say Om Tat Sat and do the charity, or always that we will use it that?
So it is like when really necessary. Prabhupada gives in purport, no? It's like and based on compassion, sometimes we may have to do that time, but that should not be a regular practice because the highest is giving them the Krishna consciousness. If you are doing charity, then do it for their highest benefit, no? If you give them Nama, at least give the Harinama or giving the Krishna chanting, how to chant, or teach them how to do that. Then at least if that is not possible, we can give them prasad. So that way, because if they're not even able to chant, and then we can give a prasad, so that will also uplift them. So that is what is being said.
I mean, when we are really using, I mean, when do we use this Om Tat Sat word and give it, Mataji? I mean, while giving the charity, should we say that and do the charity if at all required once or something?
Yeah, see, because it is not like a yagna kunda, right? There, like before you are saying Om, and then doing the during the process tat, and then during the end it is. We can only say Om Tat Sat when you are giving. You can in mind, you can say and you can give. I mean,
Okay,
you can't avoid situation.
Yeah. Thanks, Mataji.
Okay. I mean, just think your consciousness should be like I'm doing like for activity for Krishna, right? Not for any desiring anything or collecting any pious credit or anything. So that consciousness, if we do, then there is no reaction. Anything else?
Mataji, I have seen many devotees, also in ISKCON temple. Some wear white color and some wear saffron color. Is there any difference?
Yeah, saffron means they are completely engaged. Actually, white means they're still doing some activity. I mean, they may be doing work or outside, or they are not completely taken the sannyas. Who have taken the sannyas, they are in like the orange color dress. So they're like completely dedicated, 24/7. They're dedicated to Krishna. So that is the sannyasi dress. Like that.
But wearing saffron color.
Yeah. Sannyas they have taken, huh? Saffron color.
But outside ISKCON, I am telling, like art of living, those what is his name?
Yeah.
Art of
Shankar.
living. Yes.
Yeah.
See, he is also wearing white color. Not
White everybody wears, even in I think Brahma Kumaris, they also wear white, no? Because it represents soul color or something like that. But
okay.
that
Yes.
is in ISKCON, this is the one. Mataji. I don't know about
Oh,
them.
okay. Yes,
Yeah,
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
okay.
Mataji, since you
Hare
said
Krishna.
Brahma Kumaris, I recalled one thing. They said they'll say, my neighbors will go to Brahma Kumaris. They say
Mm.
Baba is the highest, and they'll be
Yeah,
doing the Namsmaran of Baba, and they'll be
yeah.
writing letters to Baba and all.
Actually, yes. Actually, I think last year first time I was in a different place, and there I saw the people like they had very wrong understanding, Mataji, about the scripture. They say that everything is told by Lord Shiva or Baba, and they never have read this Bhagavad Gita at all. They have their own book, which they say that Baba has written. Okay, there may be something spiritual, but it's wrong, Mata. It is not a right because it's not whatever we Krishna is also saying, right? It should be backed up by shastras. So there's no shastric evidence for that, whatever they're saying. And yada, and that person was actually I had some discussion that with person I had to, and he was trying to tell that. This yada hi dharmasya is told by Lord Shiva. I was like, whole world knows that it is told by Krishna, and you are saying Lord Shiva. I mean, I don't know. And they have that strong belief, and he was so confident about it. So because they are not referring to the right scripture, that is a problem. And they don't believe in the form also, right? They don't believe that God has a form. They don't believe.
And here neighbors, they started going like, in multiple. First, they started with 2 people and 3 and whole
Oh,
surroundings they gathered. I was like, they started telling me also. I was like,
yeah,
yeah, you go and come. Yeah, fine.
yeah. So that
Yeah,
is
ignorant,
basically. uh,
ignorant people.
Yeah, ignorant. Basically, what no, to some level they get some peace, right? So, but that is not the highest that they don't understand. They're only on the mental platform, trying to keep your mind and peaceful and not creating bad thoughts. And yes, all that is good. But then, if you are not connected to Krishna, then there is no point. I mean, it is not possible to get that highest happiness or bliss when they're not connected to the Lord, right? I mean, I don't know much about it, but yeah, but I have heard from people saying because when they go, obviously, when you are controlling your mind or this one, you get some peace that are byproduct, no? We see even in that Ashtanga Yoga, right? When you like when a person is climbing the steps for Lord Balaji temple in Tirupati, so what will happen? He had to take so many steps every day if he's walking. Obviously, he lose some weight, right? And the blood circulation will improve, and these are the byproducts. But then if he going top and not having a darshan of the Lord, what is the point of going all there up? So it is similarly like that. So doing all those things, and when it is not really connecting to God, then I mean, God also again it should be as per the scripture, not like whatever uh, people have their own uh, gods and they worship. Or I think they don't believe in God. They say that Baba, but I don't know. So
The people who believe also, they're converting.
yeah.
Because that is the biggest problem, Mataji.
Yeah,
Because my
because
sister,
Krishna conscious means there are some rules and regulations. People don't want to do austerity, but they want some easy way. So, right, most of the spiritual organization, what they do, you do all the thing like do kirtan, japa, dance, everything, and then do sense gratification. But Krishna consciousness is not so easy, right? You have to give up those things and you have to practice. And uh, no, people are not ready. They want to do sense gratification, and sometimes, like it is like keeping half an hour or something doing for Krishna and or the Lord. They want to do it, and the rest of the time they want to enjoy. And even the gurus will not object because if they tell, then they will not get disciples. But Prabhupada is not like that. Prabhupada, like. He was saying like when he did a pandal program in Mumbai and they spent a lot because they were not having that much money that time, and the disciple said, Prabhupada, you're spending so much, and they were planning for 10,000 people will come and thousands of people to come. And Prabhupada said, the disciples said, what if nobody takes into Krishna consciousness? So we are spending so much. Prabhupada said, like, I don't want quantity, I want the quality. So even if out of 10,000 people, if one pure devotee, if I'm able to deliver one soul, then I think that my life is successful. That is Prabhupada. Right? He says, like, what is the use of thousands of stars, right? Useless stars. One moon is enough, because one moon can illuminate the entire world, but the stars is only getting the light from sun. No? It cannot give that light. So basically, Krishna consciousness is not easy, and it is cannot be taken by everyone. And one should be fortunate enough also to get this and practice. Practicing is not so easy, right? So that is why people don't take it. They want to take easier way. So,
Yes, Mataji.
yes. Okay. Anything else? No? Okay, we can close. We can chant 3 times Hare Krishna. So chant along with me. So please increase your rounds. Whoever is chanting 4 rounds, you can slowly increase and come to 16 rounds. And you can join in the morning japa session. So continuously the temple link will be on from 4:30. There is a Manglarti 4:30 to 5. After that we have japa 5 to 7. So you can join along with devotees. You can chant, right? You get inspired. So instead of chanting alone, I request everyone to increase your rounds. Come to 16 round what Prabhupada has taught us. Okay. Can we say Hare Krishna? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय।
Jai. Namacharya Das. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone.
Hare-
Thanks for joining.
Mataji, thank you.
See you all next week.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji, for the
Krishna.
nice class. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna.